In this video, we'll be taking a look at Ahsoka Tano for the Black Series 6-inch line, based upon her appearance from Season 7 of the Clone Wars. So this Ahsoka Tano has been a very big deal over the years. I was lucky enough to find this figure at retail back in 2020 when she was initially released. And I thought, oh great, I'll get another Ahsoka, but it seems like over the years the price for this action figure has skyrocketed. Lots of people are on the hunt for this and trying to find a good deal. And recently Hasbro put up another pre-order, or they started doing a re-release of this action figure. So it's making its way around a lot of the main retailers for pre-orders. And it seemed like that sold out within minutes. So it's very interesting that people are very adamant about having this Ahsoka. Which it could be argued that this is the best one. I have three others I'm looking at here right now, which I will bring out here in a minute. The Mandalorian one, the earlier Clone Wars one, that's the more recent release, and then the Rebels one, which will be coming next. And I could see how a lot of people would really want this. It's a really good looking action figure. I'm happy she's been a part of my collection for the last 4 years now. She is a slight retool of the Rebels Ahsoka that was previously released. The only difference is I think she pretty much has new arms, a new head, and then, yeah, those are pretty much the main differences that I can tell. Well, without saying anything further, let's take a closer look at Ahsoka here. So I'll be honest, I've never actually sat down and watched the Mandalorian arc from Season 7 in its entirety. I know what happens, and I've seen some of the highlight scenes from it. I've never actually sat down and watched the episodes in a sitting. But just from what I have seen of them, it seems like Ahsoka really knocked it out of the park in those episodes. Of course, she has her duel with Maul. I do not have the Clone Wars Season 7 Maul in the Black Series. Never found it at retail and just never saw the need to really get that figure. And I did mention at the previous video I did with the Mandalorian Super Commando, I got both Ahsoka here and that Super Commando together at Walmart at the time. So the portrait, it looks really good. You can tell Ahsoka is very stern, very, she looks like she's a little bit more on the angry side, I guess. Like she's about ready to go on a revenge hunt or something like that. It's a very good expression. The paint apps are really nice on this, and the sculpting work overall, I'm very happy with it. Looks very spot on to the character on screen. Her head tails look really good. Has all the appropriate markings. Very nicely painted. Very nicely applied. As for the rest of her outfit, it's pretty good as well. Very unique, and this is an outfit that's only unique to Season 7, I think. I don't recall at the end of Season 6 or the Lost episodes for having anything like this. Looks pretty good. Definitely has a Mandalorian influence to it, which makes sense. She does have her gauntlets basically here, and it looks like a communicator is painted in and sculpted in. She has some silver detailing at the end of her gauntlets there, which are fingerless. She does have a little bit of a pattern right there. Then for her belt here, it's very unique. It almost doesn't even really qualify as a belt, but I suppose it is. And she does have pegs on each side where she can put her two lightsabers. And she has her pants, and then her high-heeled boots. She does have the pins in the knees here, which that goes back to the Ahsoka from Rebels. In terms of articulation, she does have a ball joint at the neck, or a double hinge at the neck, I think. It's hard to tell. No, that's a regular ball joint. It has a pretty good range of motion despite the head tails. Pretty much get her in most of the poses you're going to want her in. Very nice. She does have hinge at the shoulders and hinged elbows, which go past 90 degrees. It's very nice. Hinged wrists. This one goes in and out, and this one goes up and down. She does have a joint at the torso there. Then hinged hips and swivel thigh, then double hinge at the knee, and then of course the rocker ankles. In terms of weapons and accessories, very basic for her. It's just her 2 signature lightsabers that she uses in Season 7. I do know that they are given to her to Anakin, or by Anakin. And I think they're pretty much the same exact lightsaber hilts that she uses in the earlier seasons, just with a different lightsaber blade. It's a very nice blue, very unique blue at that. Let's see if I can take these off. Yeah. And of course, there's a short lightsaber here that she uses towards the end of the Clone Wars series. A lot of people forget that Ahsoka for the longest time was actually not a dual wielder. She just had this lightsaber here in the earlier seasons. And not too often we get a short lightsaber, which is nice. Well, let's see how they plug into her waist basically here. I can tell already that's going to be difficult. Maybe it's specific. Well, anyway, I tried about the best I could. I can't really get the other one at all. I'm going to have to work with that for quite a while. I think the peg is just a little bit too big for that whole spot there. We can kind of see what it looks like for the one side. It is a unique fit, I guess. Instead of being a regular belt, looks like it just attaches to her hips. So that's another project I'll have to deal with another time. It can be kind of tricky sometimes to get these lightsaber blades on the hilts. Let's see here. Yeah, with these hands that are borrowed from the Rebels Ahsoka, oftentimes they're almost in a fist, and it's hard to put the hilts in her hand. But I think that's pretty much all I can tell you about the Season 7 Ahsoka here. And let's bring out some of the other ones. Of course, we have the Mandalorian Ahsoka here. Then we have her earlier Clone Wars one. And then kind of a sneak preview as to the one that will come next. The Rebels Ahsoka. And they all look really good together. Might do a more in-depth video with all these at some point, and we'll do some comparisons, see what they're all about. We'll bring out the other Clone Wars one here real quick. See, they do borrow some parts from one another. I think the hands, they do. But anyways, would I recommend this Ahsoka for your collection? I would. I would not pay an outrageous price. I have seen this go way up in the hundreds even, which is ridiculous. I would not recommend paying that price. If you really want to have an Ahsoka for your collection and you're on a budget, probably the Mandalorian one is the one to get. Even the earlier Clone Wars one seems to be getting kind of expensive now. The Rebels one, I don't think the price is too bad on that one, and that's a pretty good Ahsoka as well. I know they don't look quite like the Clone Wars counterparts or how she appears in the Clone Wars, but it's about as close as you can get if you are on a budget. But if budget is no concern for you, then yes, this is a highly recommended Ahsoka. You might be able to find a pre-order at this time on sites like Entertainment Earth, but whether or not you actually get the action figure, I don't know. It seems like in a lot of the places the pre-order is sold out yet again, even though it's a re-release. I guess that shows how popular this character is. I'm happy she's been a part of my collection for the last 4 years. She's a great Black Series action figure. One of my favorites between the 4 Ahsokas here. It's really hard to say which one's the best. Perhaps I'll save that for another video at another time. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support. And check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. As always, thanks for watching.